and you thought you were the cool kid on the block when you had your Sega Genesis and your Super Nintendo, and then even to a lesser degree, some of you actually were able to afford that crazy high-priced Neo Geo, which gave you great home to from arcade ports there. And yes, that was really the only way to truly run arcade games at home. But lo and behold, there's another system out there that was able to do it as well. And this system is just friggin' awesome. We're going to load up a specific number of games today. And this is kind of cool because what many of you don't realize is some of these games are actually designed on this hardware, and then they were ported over to the arcade with a few caveats, such as the CD soundtracks being removed. Like right here, we have Final Fight. It had a CD soundtrack to it, previous to even the Sega CD release, and the interpretation for the arcade, they removed it due to space limitations and hardware limitations. But we're going to load Final Fight with the Sharp X68000 core, and I'm going to show you some amazing games, because today we're going to be playing arcade games you didn't even know about existed, and some of these are true arcade representations, and you could technically say that the arcade version of Final Fight is a port of the X68000 version, and that's true to a good 100 other games on the X68000. An amazing core, and like I said, the cool kid on the block with Super Nintendo, Genesis, and so on. These systems retailed for about $200 US dollars back in the day. The Sharp X68000 retailed for roughly $3,000 US dollars, which is astronomical. I mean, imagine having that system at the time. And like I said, you have these arcade games with a nice full CD soundtrack, akin to like the Outrun, Mortal Kombat, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, NBA Jam, and so on that we have with the MAME 2003 Extreme. I mean, just so amazing. And this is pretty much like the arcade version. And not only that, we even can play as Guy in this game. We don't have to have two different separate releases on Super Nintendo. We have everything here. We have all three characters, plus a CD soundtrack. It is so awesome, and you'll see in a moment here. We'll just play the game per normal here. And we'll try a few other games out. But look at it, this is so awesome. You can choose Hagar, Cody, and Guy. I'll play as Guy here, because it sucks that the first release of this on Super Nintendo, you were incapable of playing as Guy, so they had to do a secondary release. And this is just one of many games. Imagine having this at home, pre-Neo Geo. I mean, you're playing the arcade version of Final Fight with a much better soundtrack than even the arcade version. This is just sounds so amazing. And you're going to get even more distinctive representation of some of the other games I played today with their amazing soundtracks. I'll do a few arcade games, but this is one of the best examples, because aside from Double Dragon and a few other fighting games, Double Dragon and Final Fight were really what took off the entire side-scrolling brawler genre. And I really need to get Streets of Rage 4, because Yuzo Kishiro for the win. He worked in collaboration with a few other composers, and Streets of Rage 4 on PS4. I gotta pick that up as soon as possible and do a video of that as well. And I noticed that there are a couple other games on sale on PS4 that I gotta pick up as well before the sale ends. Friday the 13th is on sale for only $5 US dollars right now, and Metal Gear Solid 5 is only $4 US dollars. I have it on disc, but I still like to get a digital copy for $4. Why not? Always nice to be able to conserve your hard files. But yes, this is playing so awesome here. And this is just one of many games we're going to be loading today. Final Fight for the win here. Let's go back to the list here. And I'm going to go to the right here and see what other games we have in my little list. I should have them all right in my list over here. And they did a fantastic Akumajo Dracula game. We don't need to play it right now, but we'll do a few other ones just to show you a comparison of how amazing the music is. I mean, let's just take a simple one such as Bobble here. And like I said, this is even better than the arcade version. The music is just outstanding for what this game is. And we're going to do a few more of these examples today. And there are some games that were not truly in the arcade, but they might as well have been. So listen to this awesome music here. And after this, I'm going to be playing a game that was absolutely atrocious for NES, but the music makes it just a damn cool game for the X68000. And you do need BIOS here. I'll do a little bit of a write-up on the BIOS you need. But the game's loading right now, and yes, this is just mind-blowing. I mean, $3,000 US dollars for the system when it came out. But we're going to do one player here. And listen to how nice this music is. It's like they're being played on full-on synthesizers. You got MIDI, synthesizers, FM, all that stuff going on here. Very, very just nice sound system here. And this music completely decimates the NES version music. This is the penultimate version of playing Bobble. And me and my good friend used to play both this and Ikari Warriors for NES. And he went on to greater things. He actually became a stunt double for Jason Statham in the Crank movies, 1 and 2. And he's supposed to be in Spider-Man 3, but unfortunately he broke his neck, and that kind of just cut that thing short for a while. But he's done so many amazing things with stunt bikes and such. But yes, Bobble music is playing so awesome here. Yes, his name was Michael Nicely. He was a stunt double for Jason Statham. Cool guy that I grew up with. We're going to move on to another game here. We're actually going to do just a shmup here, of all things. And this game is not an arcade game, but it might as well. And this is just one of many examples of games that just thoroughly impressed me. I mean, I'm going to show you like a good dozen of these today. And they've all been just incredibly fun to play. Love the soundtracks. And I can only imagine just being back in like 1991 or so, or even earlier or later, and having these amazing soundtracks and having them connected to a sound system and just absolutely just being mind-blowing. Just like the first time I ever loaded up my TurboGrafx CD, and even playing like Godzilla CD, let alone like Lords of Thunder or, you know, Dracula X Rondo Blood. These were just so amazing. And I'll show you a few cool examples of games that have awesome music. But let's try this one, and then we'll jump around to a few more. And again, I'll have information on the BIOS so you can try these out for yourself. The core is just run awesome. I'll have it updated yet again for the next release. And some of these musics I've been hearing have been just incredibly catchy, where I'm actually catching myself humming them, especially the very, very next game or so that I show you. But love my shmups, and this fits in like with something I would expect to be made by like Namco, such as Felios or Dragon Spirit. And Dragon Spirit has a nice rendition on the system as well, as does R-Type and multitude of others, Fantasy Zone and so on. I mean, multiple Sega games, Capcom games. I mean, the system is all about. And here we have a Sleazak from Land of the Lost going on there. This really feels like I'm playing like a Dragon Spirit style game here. It is so damn cool. Very, very nice sound set here. And some of the games are going to be more prominent with their samples as far as like Yamaha style drum samples. You'll see what I mean when I play them. But very, very cool stuff indeed. Take out a few more Sleazaks here. Or is that Godzilla's son? No, we don't want to have these. I'm expecting Mortar Hornets to come on the screen somewhere here. But yes, if you like your Dragon Spirit, you'll definitely like this game. There's so much like it. And not only do we have shmups, we have some nice side-scrolling actioners too. I'll show you some of those. But very, very impressive this one. Let's go back to our list here and see what else we have to do here. We'll jump around. We'll do a side-scroller real quick, and then we'll jump to another shmup. We'll do this game called Buster, and this music is just awesome. I really, really do get a kick out of this game. Very, very well designed from 1995. It has a beautiful, beautiful city soundtrack. You'll hear it in a moment here. Like I said, there are just like hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of games on the system. And if I was on a desert island, I'd choose an NES and probably this system, because there are enough arcade games on here that makes it worthwhile for me. And they did a great Strider version on here too, like I said. Listen to how great this music is. And you have a storage bar that you can utilize, and you have to let it recharge. See, like that? That's cool. So you got to use a little bit of strategy here. You can hear the real style drums. That is awesome. Tell me this music is not catchy. This is so awesome. Nice, cool platformer style game going on here. And we'll try to get to the first stage. And I'm just loving this music here. Sounds so beautiful on my sound system. We'll try to get... Whoa, we don't want to do that. That was an accident. We'll try that again. And I love that the music is actually staying intact. It's not starting over when I lose a life. That's one thing that I love with some of these CD soundtrack style soundtracks. We're not going to mess up on Head Bird this time. We'll make it up there, because you do have a double jump, which I should have used. Double jump for the win. And like I said, Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins, actually you can unlock a double jump. And some people who are reviewing the game gave it a bad review just because they didn't realize that you could get unlockables. They actually gave it a bad review on the basis of not even being able to beat the first stage. Once you beat the first stage, the game becomes so much more incredibly easy because you get like a double jump and other such upgrades. And Super Ghosts and Ghosts is actually a definitively harder game. And okay, our player health bar lost the health bar up there. But yes, Buster for the win. I mean, just an absolutely prime example of what makes Sharp X60,000 so great. We're going to get through this first stage, and they get much, much more difficult as time progresses. But definitely one of my favorite Sharp games that I've played so far. We don't have to fight these enemies, dude. We can just jump right past them if we so choose to. We'll do a double jump right past them. There we go. And we don't want to feed Seymour today. Remember that movie, Little House of Horrors with Rick Moranis and Steve Martin? Saw that movie in the theater. I was actually disappointed at the time that it was a musical, just like Nightmare Before Christmas, because I wasn't really into musicals when I was a kid. But later on growing up, I did enjoy them second time around. And I remember seeing Les Miserables with my wife in the theater, and I'm like, it can't be all musical, can it? There has to be some dialogue, but no! 100% of the movie was all music, and I mean, I still watched it, but I would have loved to have it be like actually some dialogue. Like your typical Disney movie and such. But yes, Buster is just very, very cool. And I'm going to definitely be coming back to this and playing the entirety of the game from beginning to end. Awesome stuff here. Now we're going to go to another shmup here. In this game, I really love the music here. I mean, the drums are so phenomenally amazing. It's called Code Zero. But yes, Buster's awesome. Bubble's awesome. Final Fight's awesome. Everyone I played today has been awesome, and I'll show you a few more throughout the end of this video here. Okay? But wait till you hear this music. The drums are just so catchy. The music sounds like it's right out of like a classic 1980s song, like even like Dexys, Midnight Runners, you know, Soft Cell, etc. Even from the get-go here. Again, it's called Code Zero. This should have been an arcade game. It's so awesome. Wait to hear the music in action here. Like I said, for the X68000 only. This is not on any other system. This is so awesome. Sounds like it's right from a real song. And I do that in every game. When I play even games like Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, I almost always push the magic or special attack button right away. I love the Paradise scroll in here. That is so awesome. Multi-layers of scrolling. Awesome synthesizers going on here. And like I said, there's an atrocious game on NES called Highlight, but I actually like the version of it on the X68000. It has some really cool music, complete with drums like this. And this is very, very well done music. This could easily be a melody and harmony for a real song. Okay, I'm going to save my power-ups for when I get to a mid-boss. I'm loving this music, though. Some of the best music I've seen on this system. I almost want to pull out the drum set and drum to this. And it kind of reminds me of Thunderblade as well. I love games like Thunderblade, and this just fully fits the bill. But yes, this is such a cool game, and there's going to be quite a few more I'm going to showcase today. If any of you guys and gals need help running this, let me know, and I'll give you the information you need for files and such. Let's try using one of my power-up attacks here. It's almost like a Zen experience when you have the amazingness of a great game in conjunction with a fantastic soundtrack. And I kind of wish I would have owned not only just a Neo Geo, but a Neo Geo CD. I'm really, really loving the soundtrack, right? Pull it out. Oh, jeez, I gotta take it out. And look, you even have digital speech here. Listen to this. I'm actually going to give you a little example of awesome digital speech, because Lifeforce is one of my favorite games on the original Nintendo. The arcade version is actually called Salamander. That is the original name here. Think of the a nice interpretation of that right here. But not only that, you have automatic upgrades here, as you'll see, and digital speech, which kind of tells you what's going on. Now, I love games that had digitized speech. Because like one of the first ones I ever played like that, aside from some of the other ones like Adventures of Billy, was like Joe Montana Sports Talk Football on Mega Drive, which was so fun, where they had the announcer talking. It was so awesome. Look, you even have like a load music going on here. That is awesome. But this is basically Lifeforce with a voice here. It tells you what the power-ups are. Look, please deposit coins. Yes, this is actually like the arcade version here. Look, you have voices. This is awesome. It'll actually tell me what my power-ups are. Watch. Sounds like playing Tron in the arcade. That is awesome. I would have loved to have this version on the original Nintendo, but they did a good job with what they did. Having a Gradius-style power-up system. Great music, and I love the digital speech here. Choose a digitized speech. Multiple. And this is one of the first games that I used to beat on Nintendo with a 30-man code for 90 lives. But I've got to the point where I was able to beat it with the normal context of continues and such. But very, very cool here, playing all these and comparing them to the arcade or even Nintendo ports. I had 4 options already. I'd have to say my favorite version of this would probably be like on TurboGrafx 16. I really love that port of it. But this is not a bad port. Considering. And we're going to move on to a few more games here. I actually showcased a game on my Mega Drive video. That was an obscure game. We're going to play the Sharp X68000 version of it called Undeadline Denjuki. This game is so awesome. Run, and here we go. And there's a few more like this, but yes, Undeadline is a great, obscure game on Mega Drive, which was not released in the United States, and this version here is even better than that version. I mean, the animations are right up there with the great animations of Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which is one of the most popular games that kind of started out obscure, but just was a great game over time for Mega Drive as well as Super Nintendo. And this is such a great version of it. And I love these overhead shmup style games. I mean, love stuff like this and Pocky and Rocky and so on. And what's really cool is, look at this, you can choose between a fighter, a wizard, or a ninja. I almost always play ninja in every game I play. And you even have more levels than the Mega Drive version. There was only 6, I believe, in the Mega Drive version. Here you have Ross and Mucus as well. So let's try the forest here. And the music is just so awesome here. Better graphics, better music, better sound effects, just all around better package here. So yes, you're actually, as much as I like the Amiga CD32, some of these versions on here are even better than some of the Amiga CD32 versions. There's even a great game that would kind of remind you of games like Star Fox and even Battlezone, the original Vector Atari Battlezone game. But look how awesome this is. This is a beautiful game indeed. It's like, I love the game Gunsmoke, made by Capcom on the original Nintendo and arcade, and this is probably the only game I've ever played that really just got my attention like that. This is so much better than the Mega Drive version. They're so distinctively different though that they're both fun to play. Definitely very challenging to say the least. Oh, this is awesome. Very addictive game here. Fantastic overhead shmup. A lot like Gunsmoke, like I said. And other games like Nightmare, which is another great MSX game. Digging this music, without a doubt. I'm gonna try to see if I can get some more weapons here. Without losing a life, my health is going down. It's actually a little bit easier than the Mega Drive version. I didn't die as quickly in this version. There we go, I got a better weapon. I need some life though. My throwing star. Now, I love ninja movies. I mean, like Ninja Assassin was one of the last ones I've seen in the last few years, but Ninja 3 Domination was one of the ones that I really loved from the late 80s, early 90s. And I love like American Ninja with Michael Dudikoff. That was a fantastic movie. He was a great actor back in the day. I don't think I've seen him anything more recently though, but he was always fun to watch, especially in American Ninja 1 and 2. Oh no, I'm getting surrounded by enemies here. I need to go back and play Gunsmoke. I haven't played that game for a while. I just love the NES version. That's one of the cases where I think the NES version is actually better than the arcade port. I just love what they did with that. How many times have you played that where you get the horse and then you lose it right away? It was so fun having the horse there and the shotgun for the win. But yes, on deadline for Sharp 68000 for the win. One of the probably top 100 games I've ever played now. It's so fun. We're going to move on to a few more games, of course, though. But yes, this is so cool. What else do we have here? We got a few more good ones. We're going to do this great-sized scrolling game called Aqualus. And this is, this game is a veritable masterpiece. I mean, if there's any game you want to play in the system aside from Akumajo Dracula, it would be this game. Just like on the original TurboGrafx CD, many people would play Dracula X No Blood, and they would forego many of the other amazing masterpieces that were on the system as well, including even the Strider game. That is such an awesome version, complete with an additional stage and full CD soundtrack. But this game here is just damn cool. And it's been a while since I found a game this cool, and I'd highly recommend you picking up this game and just playing it from beginning to end. It's just so awesome. And you can do the grappling hook. You can actually use your grappling hook as your weapon. You notice in the bottom right where it says level 1, and then I have experience points. Yes, you can actually upgrade your character in this game and become more powerful as the game progresses. This is just incredibly awesome. It takes getting used to, though. Because you grapple, you can push the grapple a second time, and basically pull up. Look at it, that is awesome. It takes getting used to, though. Now, I'm loving this music. It is right on par with some of the Yuzo Kishiro music I've heard. Whoever composed this music did an incredible job. Let's see if I can get past this section here. Got down there, so I gotta go up. Some of this music actually reminds me of, like, Lakers vs. Celtics, which I really love the music to that on Mega Drive. Some of the bass lines. Very prominent bass. And some of you might not realize that basically Les Claypool tried out for Metallica, and they considered his sound to be too prominent. They didn't want to have bass as a focus. And you might have also noticed that some of their albums, like even Master Puppets, really had low bass. No, actually it was a Justice for All, which had, like, you could barely even hear the bass. The recording engineer for it was told by Lars Ulrich to lower the bass, and it came out on the album. And if you listen to it now, the bass is just not at all prominent, but they fixed it up for the Black Album, because the Black Album has some incredible bass. Let's see if I can remember where to go here. It's been a while since I played this. Last time I played this was actually last year, but it's the type of game that I pick up and play at least once a year. Just like games like Bionic Commando and Strider and so on. This is such a great game. Very challenging to say the least, too. There we go, we have a little bit of an upgrade there. Oh yeah. It feels like it should have been on the Mega Drive, though. It's such a fantastical game. It takes a minute to get used to the controls, though. Oh no, we got a spider enemy up there. Can I jump up there without getting knocked down? Yeah! It looks like I really... Oh, I do have some knockback damage. I was almost thinking I could be hit and stay in place and just have an invincibility frame, but no, you do get knocked back a little bit. And that especially hurts when you're playing games like Castlevania 1, and you have the Medusa heads or fleas knocking you back. That really sucks. But yes, I highly recommend this game. This is so beautiful of a game. I'll show you the name again. It's called Aqualus. Just incredibly awesome. And Argo's No Senshi is an amazing, even better than the arcade version, Rygar version. It is also an incredibly difficult game. I'll play that for a brief second here. I love the NES version. The NES version is probably my favorite port of it because it is a Metroidvania style game. And I played that so many times over the years. I could beat it in a heartbeat here. I pick it up and probably beat it within like 45 minutes to an hour now. I usually spend maybe like 5 to 10 minutes actually leveling up in the first stage. And then I go like to the hard stages with the robots. And then I'm able to beat the game. But yes, it is such an awesome game. And this here is the best version of it. Even better than the arcade version. I'm saying as far as the arcade version ports are concerned. Because you can even play this on Game Gear. But if you want to play a Metroidvania style game, play the home NES version. These are two distinctively different games. But yes, you can see this is clearly the arcade version with a CD soundtrack. Look, even insert coins here. So yes, this was out and then moved over to the arcade. So Tecmo and Taito, Capcom and so on. Look at this. This is the arcade version. just with a better soundtrack. It is very, very hard. You die in one single hit. This is such a hard game. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it anywhere in this game. This music sounds so awesome here. We got time to do a couple more because I got a few more cool games lined up to showcase. Such a hard version of this though. Good luck trying to beat this game. I don't even think I've ever even beaten the arcade version. I almost always get taken out in the third stage or something. Look at that. That's how hard this game is. It's crazy. Now we're going to go to another game. Like I said, I like games like Pocky and Rocky. And another game like that is called Valkyrie, which is on TurboGrafx. And of course, TurboGrafx CD. But this game right here, at 12 Princess, is really cool too. We'll play that for a moment here. I just passed it. Right here. This game is beautiful. It is a great, great Pocky and Rocky Valkyrie style game. I'll do one or two more games, and I'll do probably another video. I mean, I got plenty of these to play. I mean, several hundred of these I could showcase so easily. But this game here is very, very damn cool as well. Now, I'm trying to think of what I want to showcase as the last game. I mean, I could showcase the Castlevania game, you know, if I need to. Maybe I'll make the Castlevania the final game in the mix there. What's interesting about the Castlevania game is it actually has levels that later on made it into Castlevania 4 for Super Nintendo. It is basically the first version of Castlevania, but it has levels that are from Castlevania 1, as well as Castlevania 4 and other games. And it's kind of interesting, because if you ever play, like, if you ever play R-Types, which has R-Type 1 and 2 arcade, for PlayStation 1, you might notice that some of the stages in R-Type 2 on that specific compilation are actually from Super R-Type on Super Nintendo. So yes, Super R-Type is a combination of R-Type 2 from the arcade, as well as, brand new levels. But listen how cool this is. Great, great music. Sounds like something you expect out of like the Never Ending Story soundtrack. This is such a cool game. Right up there with Valkyrie, and if Mad Monkey is watching this, this would be a game right up his alley, without a doubt. It sounds like the type of music I'd even hear like Stranger Things, which used some of that like 80s, 90s music. I'm looking forward to the next season. I did watch all the other seasons. I believe they're going to have it moved to a different location. I just finished watching Ozark. I watched all seasons, all 3 seasons, and that show has really got my interest, just like the shows Banshee, Breaking Bad, Lucky Pete, and even this show. I mean, I love crime shows, and I love to be recommended other shows. Some people actually say that The Wire is one of the best crime shows ever. I've tried watching it. I had a little bit of trouble getting into it, but maybe I'll go back and give it another shot, because I heard that they did great interpretations of characters on both the good and bad side. They're not like one-dimensional characters. They're completely three-dimensional characters with substance and soul throughout the entirety of the series, and maybe I'll have to give it another shot. And I even got a kick out of watching Breakout Kings, which was a spin-off of the show Prison Break, complete with even the Teabag character from the show. This is such a cool game. Very, very much enjoying this game. And again, I'll probably do the Akumajo Dracula as my final showcase. But yes, if you like Pocky and Rocky and games like that, Valkyrie, which is probably the best game of its kind like this that you can play, specifically play the Capcom collection that is Japan only. It has a nice CD version of Valkyrie Remake. It's so awesome. It's completely different than the arcade version with a full CD soundtrack. And a completely different game, more akin to this style game. Okay. Let's see if I can get to the end boss here real quick for the first stage. I should be pretty close to the boss. Okay, boss battle here. And this boss kind of reminds me of a game that's homebrew that came later on PS3 and so on and Vita. It reminds me of Titan Souls. This is like the same type of boss that I saw in Titan Souls. I wouldn't doubt if some of the people worked on Titan Souls worked on this game decades before. This is so crazy. This is so much like Titan Souls. Which is, as you know, a game that's similar to Shadow of the Colossus. Intentionally, so it seems. But very, very inventive boss here. Very, very cool. It's pretty easy, though. I don't think I'm going to lose a life on this boss. I want to take this boss out real quick here. Pretty easy to pattern follow here. But yes, if you have like PS3, Vita, and so on, try out the game called Titan Souls, especially if you like Shadow of the Colossus. I do have it on my PS4, so I'll have to load it up in another video soon. But we're going to do Akumajo Dracula. It's our final game here. I'll load it up real quick. And there's one thing in particular you got to watch when you load it. I'll show you, so you actually make sure you have sound. And when I first played this game, I thought it was broken, but it actually wasn't. It just takes a few seconds to load. You can actually choose between media and different various sound sets for the music. And watch very, very carefully what I choose when I do this. And this is going to be the final game of this particular video. And then I'll do more sharp games in the next video. But you need to move up to the first thing here, which is the X68000. Pick this so that you have the music, because the MT32 is not properly implemented. You have to do it a different way, but you can do the sound via the X68000. Again, this is such a fantastic game. If you want to play some Castlevania games, play this game. And after you beat the first stage, you'll basically get to some Castlevania style stages, like the subterranean cave stages. But yes, when I first loaded this, I had a blank screen for like 30 seconds without this music by picking the other MIDI samples and MT32 and such. And I thought the game was broken, so I moved on to playing the PlayStation 1 version in my video, but the game works fine. As you can hear, the sound is here. It just takes some time to load. But wait till you see this game in action. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing indeed. And even in my earlier videos, this game had a little bit of a performance and speed issue. It runs so much better now. But we're about to play the game now, and it is just so incredibly awesome. And aside from like Dracula X Rondo Blood, this is so awesome. And the interesting thing here is I believe on the PlayStation 1 version, Castlevania game that you can play on, of course, PlayStation 1, you can hold the R trigger and choose between all three of these sound sets, the X68000 and, of course, the MT32 version. So you can hear the different soundtracks on that version. I'll have to probably do another video showcasing that. But nice percussion, nice music, great visuals here. Right here, this is so cool. Name entry, blah, 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 blah. Just get into the game. EA Sports is in the game. That is awesome here, real percussion here. But easily in top 5 Castlevania games ever, probably. I mean, aside from talking about Symphony of the Night and stuff, just some of the more linear ones. I mean, if you did like best Castlevania games ever, you'd have to kind of do the correlation between linear and non-linear here. Look, you can even go background here. That is awesome. Sounds so awesome here. Love the effects here. And I really even enjoy like the Bloodlines on, of course. Look, we have the bridge like Castlevania 4. I love Bloodlines on Mega Drive. That is such a beautiful game too. And love hearing the real percussion here. Just completely stands out. Playing this and Dracula X Rondo Blood back to back, these are just two amazing games to play. Like I said, after you beat this stage, you'll be playing. Oh, look, I can actually move midair. Look at it, I can move around midair. That is awesome. You can't do that in the original Castlevania. That right there makes it a better game. I can jump and then move backwards. So this is so much better than the original Castlevania for that fact alone. You can jump and change your mind midair. That is awesome. So this is a great, great first level here. And I also like playing like Konami World 2, which is cool because you actually have super deformed versions of several characters such as Goldman, Bill from Contra, Simon from Castlevania. You even have Twinbee and Gradius Ship in there, and so on, you know, Vic. And you take out these characters at various levels. I mean, try it for yourself. Konami World 2, make it past the first level 2, and you'll be blown away because you can actually take Bill from Contra into the Castlevania stage, and Simon from Castlevania into the Contra stage. And I played that game from beginning to end. It was such a cool, cool game. But again, this is going to be the final game I showcased in this video today. We'll try to at least make it past the first stage here. And one cool thing is, like, sometimes when you play games, you have weapons that you kind of avoid. And Castlevania, the Holy Water is actually the best weapon in the entire game. You can literally just take out the entirety of most of the bosses by just having a multiplier and basically using the Holy Water because it just decimates in one single hit. It's crazy. It especially helps out when you're taking out like the Grim Reaper, who is crazy to take out. Maybe I need to avoid getting hit here. And I even like the MSX version of Castlevania as well, because you have to actually, it's almost like a puzzle game where you have to find keys to open doors, gauntlet style. I love the fact that you can actually jump and stuff in different directions. That is so cool. Feels so much more freedom here. I'm looking for a meat sandwich in the wall, and I got screwed by Igor's. Yes, don't open that. That's kind of like a trap. I screwed myself there. Get out of here. So watch out for those Igors. I took the hit for the team there, guys and gals. Here's where I need my stopwatch to freeze these Oh, jeez. Creatures from the Black Lagoon here trying to take me out. In one of the earlier Creature from the Black Lagoon movies, you'd actually see Clint Eastwood in the movie. It's kind of interesting because he's wearing glasses in the movie, and the director kind of got, didn't want him to wear them because he kind of like took away from another actor scene. It's always interesting seeing some of these B movies from the 80s, 60s and such, and seeing actors that you know. Like, there's even an episode of Mr. Ed with Clint Eastwood in it, of all things. Okay, we're almost done with the stage here. Yeah, Mr. Ed was actually a fun show. That's one show that never gets old for me. Some of them shows where they have talking characters and such. Like, you might remember this, like, we had, like, TV Land where they had shows like Donna Reed and Car 54, Where Are You, and all those. Some of my first watches of any of those shows were actually from that. And I watched, like, Donna Reed, even, like, Dobie Gillis, which had Gilligan, who, from the Gilligan Island show. But there was a show called My Mother in a Car that was on Trio, another thing like that. And that show was so interesting. And it's kind of cool because Jerry Van Dyke, he went on to be on the show Coach later on. He had a choice between doing My Mother in a Car and Gilligan's Island. Imagine if he would have been Gilligan. Jerry Van Dyke as Gilligan. His whole career would have been a different thing indeed, but he was still cool and stuff like Coach, which he was in. I'm going to use the axe on the boss, which is coming up here. Yes, just looking back at actors who turned down roles and how much different things would have been if they didn't turn down these roles. How many roles can you think of that people turned down? Okay, let's not get stuck on the ladder there. Oh no, I didn't want to have that. I don't have my cool weapon there. That sucks. I gotta use this multiplier right here would help me with the axe. I'm gonna have to do them the tried and true slash fashion here. This is gonna be a tough boss battle. No! Listen how cool this music here. I threw away my axe for whatever hell this is, an herb. I don't need an herb. It gives me energy though, so I have less chance of dying. I don't think this orb is in the Castlevania 1 on NES at all. So it's actually the first time I've ever gotten this power up to my recollection. Energy rehealer, that's kind of interesting, but I would have rather had a weapon here. Still gonna be an easy boss to take out now with being able to take my health back. Look, I can heal my health here. That's funny. Kind of a proactive boss here. He's not really, he's kind of subdued, not really attacking me here. We're gonna get to the second stage real quick. Okay. And if you ever use like a cheat code like Infinity Time, you have to turn the code off because when the hearts go down like that, look at that. It'll keep going down, 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 down forever. You have like an infinity score. It'll never end until you turn the cheat code off. Now we're going to see the second stage, which is literally out of Castlevania 4. It's interesting. You're jumping from Castlevania 1 to Castlevania 4. It's cool how they do this. Because typically in the real Castlevania 4, I mean, Castlevania 1, you'd have the subterranean stage with like the Igor Frankenstein boss. The flea, whatever Igor is, you will. Yes, this stage right here is right out of Castlevania 4. Literally, it's out of Castlevania 4. So kind of cool how they did this. So they didn't even bother putting it in the NES version. They just moved it to later on to be in Castlevania 4. So I kind of wonder if you go further on what other stages from here are in Castlevania 4. And if you play, it's called Castlevania Chronicles on PlayStation 1. It has this game in it, literally. This is cool as hell. But hope you enjoyed the video, guys and gals, and there'll be more to come.